I am on location outdoors and we are going to talk about plein air painting today. And I'm going to show you my plein air setup and the things that I have to have with me when I am painting outside. Here is my plein air kit. So it sits up like this at an angle and I can put my paper right here. And then I also have these little trays I can pull out. So I can rest my palette here, set some brushes down here, and then here, this is where I keep my brushes and some of my other supplies. It has an adjustable angle, so if I need my paper to be a little higher, I can do that. I like to put it all the way down here. So here I have brushes. You only really need 3. A large mop brush, a medium round brush, and then something a little smaller that has a point so you can get some of that detail painted. So if you're just getting outside and you want to keep it simple, stick to 3 brushes. I have a few paints that I tend to run out with the quickest. I have some white gouache if I need to get a little highlight in the scene. Another thing that I have is a little sponge, and this is what I can use to pre-wet my paper with when I'm getting started. So inside the box here, I have a pencil, kneaded eraser, and some tape. I also have my palette. Now you don't need anything so extravagant as this, but I like this design because it has some deep wells for paint, and these little bubbles allow me to mix a much stronger, richer pigment. And when I tilt it, the water, the paint mixture, will stay in these bubbles and not just all mixed together in one pool. I typically use a Saunders Waterford cold pressed block, and this is 14 by 10 inches. So it fits inside my backpack and it fits really nicely on here. Okay, when you first open a watercolor block, it's pretty weighted down because you have a lot of paper on here still. And so as you use up the sheet, you'll peel off this sheet and you'll have another clean sheet underneath. But it's a quick, easy way to get outside and paint, and you don't have to worry about taping anything down. What I found though is as I use the block up, it gets more and more flimsy and some of the other sheets start coming up. So then I can just tape around the border if that happens, and then I can set it here. And as this gets lighter, I can actually tape it down to my easel. So that way when it's windy, when I'm out here and painting, my paper's not going anywhere. It's going to be nice and stable right on here. And again, you can get a look at the angle. This is the angle that I like to paint at. This paint box has a mount on the bottom that fits on a tripod. You set up the tripod, this mounts on the bottom of that. So you need something to carry the tripod in. Here is my plein air bag, and this is a brand new bag, so I haven't got to use it a whole lot yet. I keep my tripod in there. Paper towels. You always want to have paper towels on hand. I'm always trying to control the moisture that's on my brush. I might need to clean my palette off. Bring a roll of paper towels. Water. You're always going to need water. You don't want to be out there trying to paint without water. So this is enough water for me to drink and also pour into my water container. I have a little container like this. Let's see what else I have in here. I also need a little spray bottle when I am setting up to paint. While I'm doing my drawing and thinking about composition, before I do that, I spray my paints down really well within my palette because I want them to be activated and ready to go when it's time to paint. And again, another roll of tape because you never know when you're going to need to tape something. It's not too much to carry. 1 backpack and 1 paint box. Also, what I forgot to mention is you might need to bring a pickleball paddle, so when you're done painting, you can go play some pickleball, but that's optional. So my paint box was made by an Italian artist named Fausto Sutera, and I'll link some of his information below. If you are interested, reach out to him. I've used it quite a bit and I really do enjoy it. You can go start to paint outside with a simple, small collection of watercolors and a sketch pad. Don't feel like you need this expensive gear in order to get outside and paint. My first setup, it was an old tripod. I mounted a board to it and then I put Velcro on a hard surface that I would tape my paper to. And that's what I started with. So you don't need something great and expensive. Find something that works for you. Find something that is light and comfortable to carry and get outside and paint. Now, if you are ready to take the next step forward in your painting, I have a free video lesson just for you. The 7 Secrets of Fresh and Powerful Painting. Now in this lesson, I talk about how to plan your painting, how to mindfully paint your scene, and how to know when to put your brush down before you overwork your painting. Now when you sign up for this lesson, I send you two things. I send you my pre-painting checklist. This is something that you can look at before every painting to ensure that you're thinking through the right things as you're getting started. And the second thing I send you is my watercolor supplies guide. Now if you have questions about brushes, about paper, about pigments, anything like that, I talk about all those things in my watercolor supplies guide. And it's really easy to get started. Simply follow this link here and get my free video lesson, 7 Secrets of Fresh and Powerful Painting. I'll see you there.